Here. Today I'm going to introduce you to Marichyasana B. Marichyasana B is a traditional Astanga primary series pose. It's a pretzel-like looking pose that may some of you guys feel like, oh, I don't really need it. Well, according to my favorite Ashtanga teacher who used to say that yoga poses are like family members, you don't need to love them, but you kind of need them around. I think that Marichyasana B has lots of benefits to offer, so maybe let's apply it into our personal or your personal practice. Whenever you're ready, let's unroll the mat and play around. Okay, so let's start warming up for that pretzel pose. Soles of your feet are going to come together. Interlace your fingers and slide them underneath your feet. Make your feet heavy towards your hands. Maybe flip your knees a few times to try to warm up your hips. Relax the shoulders. And right away in here, I'm trying to lift the chest up. So we're looking for a straight line from all four corners of the spine. Nice big inhale in here. And then slowly from there, we're going to try to lean the chest a little bit more forward. So we're going to be working on a nice deep forward bend with the hip opening in it, and the Baddha Konasana butterfly pose is very good for it. So keep the hands underneath your feet, keep your feet inside your palms as you're leaning your chest as deeply forward as you can, but use your core muscles, use the lower abdominal muscles, lifting and engaging up to get that length forward instead of rounding in the middle back. You definitely don't want any rounding in your middle back, in your thoracic, on your upper back. The lower back is also lengthening. Nice big inhale in here, nice slow exhale. Then lift the chest up and shake it up. Okay, so the first variation, like a level 1 of Marichyasana A, is to just cross the ankles, and that's where you actually start from, right? Marichyasana requires lotus position. If you're not lotus position practitioner, you obviously not want to go there. So stick with the locking of the ankles and make sure that the front heel presses down to the floor and the edge of the other foot also presses. The feet are locked and flexed. So there's already active compact motion going on in here. And as you here, just again, lean the chest forward, just like we just did in Baddha Konasana, and bring your hands on the fingertips forward. Now, at the same time as we go in here, two things may happen. You're gonna lift the sit bones up, especially the sit bones of that knee that is pointing up towards the ceiling. So try to sink the hip as low towards the floor as you can. It may not go to the floor at all, that's totally fine, but make the hip heavy. At the same time, again, pay attention to not rounding your spine, so belly forward, frontal ribs forward, shoulders back, chin is in, as the back of your neck extends forward. Let's always remember that the neck is extension of the spine, so we still have to pay attention to that full length from the neck to the tailbone. And then slowly lift and switch legs. So again, we're gonna lock the ankles, flex the feet, and we're gonna lean the chest forward, trying to have your hips a little bit heavier. My sit bone never goes down, so don't feel like this is a very essential thing that you really have to have that hip down, hip towards the floor. That hip just wants to go down. That's all we're looking for. That's gonna give you that extra action in the hip. Hands on the fingertips, or at this time, you can also bring your hands to the side on the fingertips and lean your chest forward, looking for almost like a cobra position with the torso. And obviously, nice long inhale, nice long and then slow exhale, and then come up all the way up. Okay, so this is going to be like a starting variation of Marichyasana. Now let's go to the variation maybe B or 2. Still with the ankles locked, you're gonna maybe try to have a strap next to you. Strap could be towel, could be pashmina, whatever you find that has that a little bit of extension. Now, as we go in here into that wrap, I'm trying to figure out the position that makes it easy for you to see. You're gonna bring your hands to the side, just like I did in the last variation. And now from there, let's bring one hand, especially the hand of the knee that is still on the floor. Bring that hand back and right away spin the fingers back. Try to not looking for outer rotation in that shoulder. Try to look for the internal rotation on neutral in that shoulder. Those of you guys who, like myself, have sensitive rotator cuff, definitely don't look for any outer rotation in the shoulders. Always neutral, or actually internal rotation is going to protect the shoulder, protect the rotator cuff, and thus it's not going to overstretch the pectoralis too much. It's a deep chest opener, so you also have to pay attention to not getting too much stretch in the all upper trapezius. So one hand to the side, other goes back. Now take a nice big inhale and start bringing that hand off the arm that presses against the shin. Back, lean your chest forward, and just stay there for a couple of breaths. Keep looking for the length in the torso, so it's not passive pose, it's not just sitting and waiting, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm done. It's really hard work of getting deeper and deeper. But make sure that as you're going deeper, you're going on the exhale. So on the inhale, staying in the position you are. On the exhale, maybe half inch deeper. And then on the inhale, come up. Okay. We're gonna switch to the other side and have that strap behind you. So those of you guys who never rock, there is a Parsvakonasana position with the rub. If you are familiar with this pose and you do rubs, you're gonna have easier time to go into the wrapping position in here. I'm gonna show you 2 variations. So first variation is gonna be with the strap. Try to keep the strap behind you, grab the strap with both hands, make sure that the space between the hands is gonna be shoulder distance apart or even wider if you have shoulder issue. And then lean your chest forward, and then slowly from here, that one hand, the extended arm of the knee that is on the floor, is gonna be shifting back. The other one, the arm that's gonna be wrapping in front of the shin, is gonna be scooping forward, so you can wrap that tricep in front of the shin, and then check how close you can walk your hands towards each other with that strap. Lean your chest forward. This is the most essential part, guys. If you feel like your top shoulder, that front shoulder of the arm that presses against the shin is moving too far forward and it's further than the opposite shoulder, try to slide that foot, that front foot, a bit more to this side, giving some more space for the hips and for the chest. This way you're neutralizing your spine and you can realign your shoulders. Now, chest is leaning forward, chin is leaning forward. Remember, not looking forward. You want to look down or look a few inches in front of you so the back of your neck is long. Slowly release. And we're going to go to the other side. Those of you guys who don't need the strap, I'm going to just lock the ankles. My way of getting that, everybody's different. I'm going to show you my way. I'm usually grabbing the ankle of the knee that I'm going to be wrapping around with opposite hand. I'm stabilizing myself. I'm leaning forward. I'm bringing that that arm off the same arm of the same leg forward, looking for the length, then bring the arm back. So I'm looking for the same stretch that I just did on the fingertips. And I'm gonna bring my hand maybe as close to my hip as I can to get the thumb inside that hip crest. Then I'm gonna extend the other arm. Maybe I'm gonna interlace the fingers. Maybe I'm gonna grab the wrist. And then I'm gonna lean forward. Now maybe chin is moving forward. Maybe chin is going down. The hip of that knee bend and point up towards the ceiling is definitely gonna be lifting a little bit higher up, but don't try to bring too much weight to the opposite side. You're still trying to get your weight in between both hips. Let's lift the chest up, shake it up, release. Okay, so those are the variations we can play with if you're not doing lotus position. Let's get higher up with the level up, go into the prep for the lotus. So let's extend one leg, lift the other leg, and try to grab slide the inside of the elbow to the outer edge of the opposite leg. Now we're gonna interlace the fingers and try to lift that leg a little bit higher up. So it's kind of like a prep for Marichyasana, all those poses that require lots of hip opening. Now I'm gonna go to the side so you can see better what I'm doing. I'm gonna bring my hand of the same bent knee to the inside of the hip crease, and I'm gonna push the hip down. Now slowly from that, I'm gonna try to get the outer rotation in the hip so I can bring the knee a little bit more forward, away from the shoulder. Now at the same time, I'm gonna slide that foot, that ankle on the top of the opposite thigh. Make sure it's not on the knee, it's actually on the thigh. And if that's enough for you, if you feel that this is as far as you can go, stay there. Just press the heel of the opposite leg down. Slide the hands behind you on the fingertips or the palms flat, wherever feels comfortable. Make sure the chest is lifted, and then maybe scoot your toes as close to the heel as feels comfortable. Now make sure you're not rounding your back, you're lifting your chest. This is that cobra motion that you're going to be looking as you're moving forward. Now slowly from here, slide it back, release the leg, shake it up. I'm gonna go to the other side to show you a little bit deeper version of it. So again, we're gonna lift the leg, we're gonna warm up that hip, holding that very handsome baby, cuddle a little bit, releasing the ankle above the knee, slide the foot down, start opening the knee a bit more, start rolling the hip a bit down, so the knee is kind of like circling towards the floor. And then slowly from here, I'm gonna again find the drop with that inner elbow, and we're gonna try to slide that foot, that heel, towards the hip crest. Now as I'm here, I wanna make sure that that knee doesn't go just down to the floor. If the knee goes down to the floor, there's not much hip opening in here. So the best way of doing so to protect the hip, protect the knee, not overstretching or pulling the ligaments. The knee, the entire leg has to be in the compact position, which makes it easier if you're flexing that foot. And now from here, I'm gonna go with one hand back to the floor. So I'm giving myself a little bit of shift back. I'm gonna lower the knee down to the floor. So I'm gonna get deeper with the hip down, the knee down, and then I'm gonna circle the knee all the way forward. But the knee going down gives me that outer rotation in the hip, and a little bit more stretch into the oblique, and that's what we're gonna be looking for in Marichyasana B anyway. So get the knee closer in. That's gonna make it easier for you to get deeper into like a nice, safe lotus position. Then obviously one arm goes back, wrapping around the shin, other arm extends, and again, either reach for the wrist or just fingers. If you know lotus position but you feel that your shoulders are too short again, you obviously can bring the strap behind you. The same variation like with the ankle to ankle. You're gonna scoop that shoulder in front of the shin, and you're gonna try to go deeper and deeper into that nice deep Marichyasana. Maybe dropping the head down, bringing your chin towards the knee, trying to get the connection between the foot and the knee a little bit closer. Drop the head down. Slowly from here, come up. Knee can circle all the way up, and release it. Down, shake it off. Okay, final question, which happens a lot in my classes with my student in Astanga: which arm I'm wrapping around. So let's go again into that Marichyasana, either position of the lotus or ankle. It's up to you. Now, the most essential thing about this pose is that we're looking for the benefits, and the benefits of this pose is to elongate the spine, deep opening the hip, deep opening the chest, not overstretching the rotator cuff. So if I'm wrapping around and I'm reaching with the hand of the arm that wraps around the shin towards the extended arm, and I'm grabbing the wrist or the fingers, as you can notice, that knee of the lotus position slides to the side, and I have tendency of moving a little bit more out. It's more loose, open pose. Doesn't give me the length forward too much, and at the same time, I feel like my opposite shoulder, that shoulder that it's extended, it's kind of overstretched, and my head has tendency of moving towards the shoulder head. So that's not really gives me much benefits. Yes, there's too much overstretching, too much opening. There's nothing compact in it. Marichyasana B is all about the compact, so you can really look for the stretch in the spine, getting those hips really connected and active. So for that reason, I always gonna be looking for grabbing the rest of that arm that wraps around the shin. That's gonna give me the nice neutral position of the shoulders, makes it easier for me to get that knee closer towards the foot, leaning chest forward and dropping the head down, still sinking those hips as close towards the mat as possible. Lift the chest, place it down, and find your way to sit up, shake it off. Okay, so I hope that video helped you to not only to learn how to get to Marichyasana B, but also make you more comfortable and friendly with the pose that you may have avoided because of some specific reason of fear, maybe not interest in it. Try to use the pose, try to think about this pose as the cousin that you may actually be a little bit more friendly with. It's a great beneficial poses for those of you guys who have scoliosis, for those of you guys who have lower back issues, tight psoas, tight IT band muscles and tendons. So please try to check it out. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to let me know, and enjoy it. Thank you.